What's up, good people? How are we doing? How are we doing on a Thursday? Hey, today we are covering, so we've had this whole thing where, the cats are being eaten and the dogs are being eaten. The ducks are being eaten. The geese are being eaten. There's so many stories out there, information that came up in the presidential debate, right? Trump said, we know what he said. And then there's all this pushback from mainstream media. Republican presidential candidates' claims about pets in Springfield have been debunked. That's fake news. Is it? What is the reality? Because I've been following the story for, a few days now. And what is the real truth? Well, that's what we're going to try and get at today, because so many of these stories you start to do a little bit of a dive into and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's not really the story. But, Fluffy being eaten is that is newsworthy, and people are throwing that out. Is that happening? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm an appraiser by background. I'm a real estate guy. And in an appraising, when you have a tough appraisal to do, what you do is you gather all the facts together as you see them, you lay them out, and then you let people make their own decision. You make the lender, you make the underwriter make their own decision about how this impacts the property and how this impacts, in this case, the story. So we're going to jump through a bunch of articles and a bunch of videos. Got a video from a guy in Springfield. He's a mechanic. You might have seen that video. We're going to look at that. He's got a couple up. And we're going to kind of, what is the reality of what we're talking about here? What's really going on? I know big YouTubers they've gone to Springfield. I know Tyler Oliveira, he's gone there. But when you have these YouTubers and they go and put a mic in front of somebody's face and they say, is Fluffy being eaten? What's the response going to be? And you got a Haitian migrant who's, dependent upon the community for all kinds of benefits. They're going to say, no, that's not happening. But I think we've got enough evidence. And I'll let you make the decision. But let's start off with, what? We're going to go right to the video. I think this is pretty interesting stuff. It's a video that came out yesterday. It's got 1 million views. It is from Empty Pockets Garage James. I think he seems to be a straight shooter. I believe him when he talks. So that's why I'm showing this video. I don't know him. Give him a subscribe. Empty Pockets Garage James. Let's see what James has to say and go from there. I need to get the audio going. Thanks for joining the live stream, by the way.
Hey everybody, this is James, Empty Pockets Garage. I wanted to make a quick video to address something looks like it's made national and international news about the Haitian migrants that has been thrust upon us here in Springfield, Ohio, because that is where I live. And I just wanted to address the issue a little bit, because I've seen a lot of stuff on national news and a lot of YouTube content creators weighing in on this situation. And I've even seen where they've, because for whatever reason, some news outlets are showing videos that are really not from here or have anything to do with the Haitian migrants here or about what they do. And it kind of irritates me that because this is a small town, so there's not like a bunch of videos that people like stop with their phones and start recording stuff when they see it. It's just not that kind of a place. So there isn't a whole lot of video evidence of this stuff happening, and the fact that some news outlets are using videos that have nothing to do with this town, and then everybody's saying, well, this is a nothing burger, it's fake news. Well, I am a resident of Springfield, Ohio, and it is not fake news. There is an issue with them, because we have in our local park, they literally have ducks down there that the park takes care of, and it's where they live, and they are being killed and eaten. And as far as people's personal pets, I've heard stories, but I can't answer to that personally because I don't know. But I can tell you, because this is the car channel.
Keep that in mind. It feels like the duck issue and the geese issue are a known quantity. The pets, Fluffy, I mean, it could be happening. We just don't have any evidence that that so far appears to be wildly credible. But let's keep going.
I do car content. I can approach this story from the car issue. When I say that, I mean their driving issues. I've witnessed this. They literally, and they have to have a translator wherever they go. They literally have been in the vehicle.
This isn't on the pet topic this isn't on Fluffy being eaten, but this has a lot to do with how we get to an issue where you've got some cultural differences. And is Fluffy being eaten? Again, driving in Springfield by the Haitians is a big, big topic because one kid has been killed in a school bus, and you've got a bunch of other incidents, and that's why we're continuing to watch this. This is further background for kind of what we're talking about.
DMV, where like I go and get my license plate renewed, and it's also where you get your license, obviously. And they literally have a translator, and they show up with a piece of paperwork that grants them driving privileges with no proof that they can actually drive, just that they're of age. It gives them driving privileges for 45 days, and then in 45 days they can go back and renew it, and they never have to show proof of how competent of a driver they are. We can't do that.
That is so true. That's so true. All right, we've got and the reason I tend to believe James from Empty Pockets Garage is when he made the statements and he looked directly at the camera. He wasn't looking down. He wasn't looking around. Yep, the pets are being eaten. He was looking right into the camera and he said the pets are being eaten. You know, whatever his statement was. And it's the ducks and it's the geese. But let's go to the park. So what he did is he followed up with a video, which was, in my opinion, genius. I saw this yesterday afternoon. Man, he has gone from, get my little guy here, my little yellow guy. When I saw this video yesterday, he had 5,000 subscribers. Now he's got 13. So good on you, James. The issue is that James is a mechanic, and he's getting famous for what's going on in Springfield. And that's a lot of what happened to me with Chop, right? I'm a real estate guy. I go cover Chop. But let's watch the second video that James put up here.
This is James in Pockets Garage. I got such a huge response, which was so unexpected, on my video that I did yesterday. And I did not have an opinion either way on supposedly the ducks being killed or people's pets being taken and eaten. So I thought I'd come down to the infamous Snyder Park, where these animals reside. They don't migrate here. They are pets here, and they are a protected animal. They're so domesticated now that they're not afraid of humans, so they'll walk right up to you and want to get fed. And I haven't been down here in a while, but last time I was here, there could have been close to 100 ducks and probably dozens of geese. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what's left. So they're not disappearing in the way that people are claiming they are. Where'd they go? So anyways, I'm going to turn the camera around.
Good question.
Take a look.
Okay. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He is watching the geese. Or actually, there's one, I think there's one goose over here, and the rest of these are ducks. So now somebody, some official, some city official is tasked with, hey, George, Yeah, you got to go down to Snyder Park. You got to sit your ass there all day, and you got to watch this, because if somebody catches this on video, whew, this is not going to look good for Springfield. So yeah, I know you got all that other stuff you need to do, and I know you're behind in your workload because, you know, we're understaffed here in Springfield, whatever the story is. But you need to go down and babysit the ducks. Yep, just make sure they're okay. Just make sure nobody comes up and, you know, slaughters a duck and, you know, takes it home, and okay. There we go.
See, it's just
you got 20 ducks there, maybe?
Over there.
There's your
and
goose.
There's an adult. But where are the rest? And I mean, there was dozens down here. Where do y'all go? They live here.
Away?
So, I'm not claiming either way what's happening to them, but it is credible evidence that they're gone. So, saying that.
What I would say there is, playing devil's advocate, they're gone, but we definitively don't know that the Haitians came down and killed them because they're so easy, you know, they're so domesticated. This isn't evidence of that, but it points to a story that we've got other little bits and pieces to that supports this theory. This isn't direct evidence of, hey, there is a Haitian right there and he has taken that duck. Oops, yep, there goes the head. He just wrung it. There goes the head. Oh, yep. All right, he's gutting it right there at the lake. No, we don't have evidence of that, but there used to be 100 ducks, 100 geese, whatever it was, and now there aren't. So I don't think, I don't know what, I think a little bit more here.
Get this back out of the way. There we go. And I appreciate all the positive comments because I got so.
Yep. So, okay, so that's the evidence from yesterday of, okay, here's what we got. Here's what we got. Let's go back to, I'm going to kill the audio here. Remind me to turn the audio on as we get to it later. Let's go with this. Can't take it anymore. Residents of Springfield, Ohio beg for help after 20,000 Haitians overwhelm city, eat local wildlife. All right. What I wanted to point out here is this picture is taken in just to the north and west of Columbus, Ohio, which is about 45-minute drive from Springfield. So this picture is not, and this is our thumbnail. So this is what I'm proving. What I'm kind of saying here is these aren't exact incidents that are being portrayed out there. But is it plausible that this happened? Well, wildlife officials in Columbus were brought out to investigate. They were able to, with the data on this photo, they were able to figure out exactly where this photo was taken. It is taken in Columbus, Ohio, which is, 45-minute drive. It's 46 miles from Springfield. Okay, you got two side-by-side kind of towns. All right, does that make sense? It's plausible. But does it prove that ducks from Springfield are being taken and eaten? No, but this guy's got a goose. He's got a goose upside down here. And you know what? We're going to watch this video here. This is another piece of evidence that folks are talking about. And this is a boots on the ground social media guy in Springfield. Let's hear what he has to say. A lot of people are pointing to this as evidence that this is happening. All right, sorry about that. Gosh darn it. Oh,
And I don't even want to like
We're gonna start
seem
over.
like I'm coming. I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day, and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans, they're running into buildings, they're running into they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to, like, seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get, like, a task force for the Highway State Patrol. And they look for guns, and they look for dope, and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for, like, going left to center and, like, a couple miles over. Like, y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much how to
he is not wrong. I mean, you've got incident after incident after incident that has happened in Springfield with drivers who don't know how to drive, to the point where I believe it's the governor is sending in $2.5 million for additional funding to try and teach these people to drive. I mean, okay, all right. So if you got people who don't know how to drive and you're just letting them drive, like we heard James say, is it plausible they come from a different culture where eating ducks and geese and possibly, what we consider, pets, Fluffy, or, Fido the dog? Is it plausible? Yes, it is. But again, all right. So did he say he has personally seen anybody, kill a duck? No, but he's a boots on the ground guy, and he's got a reputation to within his community. It's a small community. Springfield is a community of about 60,000 people, and they've taken on, media indicates they've taken on between 10 and 20,000 Haitians. And the number that I keep coming up with is about 15,000. But let's round it up to 20K just for kicks, right? Let's run it up to 20K. That is a third of their population coming in as Haitians. So now a quarter of their population, 20,000 out of 80,000, are Haitians. And that is like Seattle at 750,000, bringing in 250,000 people across the southern border and say, hey, come on into Seattle. Let's see how this goes. A quarter, 250,000 people. Those are the ratios. So Springfield has had a massive, massive influx. And that's why, I think you're seeing these stories in these headlines. Haitians are in the park grabbing ducks, cutting the heads off and eating them. That's a resident at the council meeting. Okay. So that has been taken and extrapolated to, we've got another story here. This is from End Wokeness. Springfield is a small town in Ohio. Okay. 20,000. Now ducks and pets are disappearing. So let's take a quick peek at this one. So this is the other piece of evidence that people are pointing to. This is on Twitter. X. Warning to all about our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter friend had lost her cat. She checked pages, kennels, asked around. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out of her car, looked towards a neighbor's house where Haitians live, and saw her cat hanging from a branch, like you do a deer for butchering. And they were carving it up to eat. I've been told they are doing this to dogs. They have been doing it at Snyder Park with the ducks. Okay, we've covered Snyder Park and geese. As I was told that last bit by rangers and police. Please keep a close eye on these animals. Okay. All right. So we've got somebody who said that. However, we don't have any photographic evidence. We don't have anything other than a post that somebody put up that, okay. All right. So that's out there. But again, I haven't seen anything where I can definitively say, yeah, that's happening. But it looks highly probable. The issue I have with the cats and the dogs is, okay, all right, that's about as much as we have to go on. Here is what the governor of Ohio is pointing, the attorney general is pointing to. And this is just straight audio. So let's go like this. You know what? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, it's killed here. Here we go. Start over.
Clark County Communications.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today. And I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers.
Donald Trump's decision to...
Okay, so that's a 911 call. That's the non-emergency 911 call. That doesn't make any sense, does it? It's their non-emergency line. They called in saying, hey, what's going on here? You got 4 dudes carrying geese. One of my first thoughts when I saw this story was, well, maybe the geese migrated. Maybe the ducks, maybe they're flying away elsewhere. It doesn't sound like that's the case, though, does it? It sounds like these are basically town pets. They're in the pond. They're in the pond. Where is that pond? Snyder Park. Yep, it's right there. Just to the north and kind of west of Springfield. So it's kind of in the downtown corridor. Springfield, Ohio man reported Haitian migrants snatching geese out of park just 2 weeks ago. So that's a sound bite that we have. Now, I have no way to corroborate this. This is just another piece that's kind of thrown out there. This is what it is. Here we go. Ohio Attorney General backs claims about Haitians eating geese. Oh, okay. We're back to the geese. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost weighed in Wednesday in defense of former President Donald Trump's claims of Haitian migrants eating pets by saying there is a credible claim that they are capturing geese for food. There's a recorded police call from a witness who saw immigrants capturing geese for food in Springfield. Citizens testified to city council. So we just took a look at that. And do you have any reason to not believe those things? I don't. I haven't seen them discredited, but again, this is somebody calling in. Could they have been making it up? Yeah, but why would you? You know what I mean? Why would you? So I tend to believe that, yeah, the geese and the ducks, yeah, that's a go. I mean, if you're coming from Haiti where anything goes, I mean, they are escaping some extreme violence. And they've been told, hey, you know what? They're not going to get you in trouble. If you want duck, you want geese, walk down to the park. Just try and do it discreetly. It doesn't sound like they're doing it discreetly. Just go down there and get yourself one. It's fine. They're all good. It's springtime. They'll have babies, and just leave a few. You leave a few male and few female, and is that what's going on? Probably. You know what I mean? Different culture, different stuff going on. Might not be that crazy to have that happen. And we've got enough pieces of evidence here, but how many of these pieces of evidence are built on others that may not be true? That's where I think the cat thing and the dog thing, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I'm not going to say it's not happening, but definitively, I can't say that it is at this point either. Mr. Trump, in Tuesday's debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, raised the issue of Haitian migrants eating pets, saying he'd seen people on television saying it. That is not a false statement. They have said that. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. Okay. I'm not really seeing that, but let's keep going. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. He's talking about the Haitians. Okay. Maybe that's happening. They're eating the pets of the people that live there, the GOP candidate said. Ms. Harris said the claims were evidence of Mr. Trump's extreme campaign. Now, one of you fans out there, not a fan, I should say a contributor, they sent me in a whole bunch of stuff. Let's get to my gallery because I screenshotted this. This was the statement. Here's the conversation. Here's from the left. No one is eating people's pets. Not happening. Nobody is eating people's pets, which means we're 1 week away from, why do you care that people are eating pets? Why do you care about that? Why do you care that they're eating pets? 3 weeks from now, why eating pets is a good thing. Why eating pets is a good thing. And then the last, refusing to eat pets is white supremacy. Do you think that's going to happen? Because it's true. I mean, you can say, hey, these folks come from a different culture where eating a duck, eating a goose, maybe eating a cat if you're hungry enough. And, Fido's big. And so, you get hungry enough, you're going to eat anything. You know what? I mean, that's the truth and that's reality. But this whole thing where you're just saying, oh, that's been debunked. You saw how quick ABC was to debunk what Trump was saying. And that's where I was like, hey, wait a minute. The ducks and the geese are town pets, are they not? In Springfield, it sounds like they are. I mean, you've all been to parks where that's the case, where ducks just kind of wander right up to you. And, I've done a lot of hunting in the past. I hunted with my father-in-law. I got into hunting with my father-in-law. I mean, what a way to bond, right? With your wife's dad. And then he died from cancer, and I kind of just lost all, it was like, that's something I did with my father-in-law. Now I don't do it. But we shot a lot of ducks. We shot a lot of geese. And eating those, yeah, I mean, kill them and grill them. And it's a natural resource that is renewable. So some people disagree on eating the Canadian geese, but, we're down in Oregon and that's, we're hunting and eating food. So, I always have that in the back of my mind when a duck wanders up to me to hey, you got a snack for me? And you think, oh, that's so cute. And then they fly off or they fly in and you think, oh, I'm going to shoot them. Yeah, it's just, mindset when you're a hunter. So, all right. So here is a post from the governor of Springfield that kind of gives us a little bit more background on how he feels we kind of got here. Because what this is doing is Eating Fluffy is putting a spotlight on the Haitian immigration policies, right, that the federal government has enacted. Haitian immigrants overwhelming Springfield, Ohio have made the national news. Last week, I went there and spent time in the community talking to local residents and officials. Below is a summary. Implementation of federal immigration policy by the Biden administration kill the sound here. By the Biden administration is the direct cause of the overwhelming influx of Haitian immigrants. Okay? This is Biden administration policy. And that's why they are putting such a kibosh on any of these stories immediately during the presidential debate. Oh, that's been debunked. That's been debunked. That hasn't been corroborated. Well, you know what? I kind of disagree. I included the word implementation because it doesn't need to be done this way. It's a choice made by the Biden administration. Biden administration provided Haitian immigrants documentation for temporary legal status, usually 2 years. Biden administration has also recently changed federal immigration policy, which has exacerbated the problem by allowing each one of those individuals to bring up to 6 additional family members. Yeah, it's a 6-pack, right? Estimated population increase of Haitians in Springfield ranges from 10 to 20,000. And I'm trying to get the data. Local officials I spoke with explained these major problems. So 60,000 goes to 80,000 or 75,000, with 15 of those or 20,000 of those being Haitian immigrants coming from basically a war-torn country overrun with gang violence. I mean, just some extreme violence. So eating a duck is probably not outside the realm of possibility, right? Let's be honest. Let's just, think about that for a second. Yeah, I'm eating a duck and I'm eating a goose. Goose are big animals. We have turkey. Difference between turkey and geese. Good size animals, right? Immigration without assimilation is one of the major problems. Language barriers drive up costs and make it hard for educators and healthcare providers to do their jobs. They've been overrun. Highway safety is raised as an issue because of language barriers and a lack of training. These people come here and they've never drove before. They've never driven before. And all of a sudden, here's your 45-day permit. Go ahead, get in that car. And that's what the individual in the red sweatshirt was saying at the town hall meeting. Hey, they don't know how to drive. They're running into everything. Well, that's going to happen if you haven't driven in your prior country and you're an adult. And now all of a sudden you're behind the wheel of a, thousands of pound vehicle. And you're, it's going to work out. There are many Haitian drivers who are not licensed or can't read or follow basic traffic laws, period. Okay. So there's all this frustration over this stuff, and it's coming to a head in the form of they're eating fluffy. They're eating fluffy. Okay. But you don't have to go to that extreme. You just have to go to, hey, it sounds like they're eating, they're eating ducks and geese from the local park. All right. Translation services are expensive. I think it was at the hospital, at the federal hospital, they're spending $30,000 or something a month on just translation alone. Yeah, it's been an uptick in tuberculosis and other diseases. Employers are pitting many of the Haitian population to work. They're hiring many of them. How did they get here? How did the Haitians get here? This is the governor's explanation. The best explanation is that temporary employment agencies were connecting Haitians to jobs at local food processing plants, and this created a pipeline into Springfield. There may be other explanations, but this is the one that I heard most frequently. So you've got locals in Springfield that a lot of them that are being recorded in national media, they are not from upper end socioeconomic status tier. And so people are discrediting them, but this is their reality. They're reporting their reality and they're saying, hey, our pets are being eaten. They do not have the ability to drive. They're driving up the cost of housing. And now we've got school issues where you have XYZ number of, English as a second language learners. And then all of a sudden, boom, you've just got all these kids who all of a sudden are thrust into the education system and they can't speak English. So how do you think that's going to go? And then you've got a healthcare system where all of a sudden you've got a massive increase in population. And they're bringing with them, they're not all vaccinated, so they're bringing with them some other issues. You've got that going on. So there's a lot of stuff happening. And this isn't just, I think Springfield is the focus on Springfield is because the numbers have been so drastic as far as the assimilation into the Springfield community. This is something that we're looking at because this is I don't want to say prototype, but this is the best example of the Biden administration's immigration policy. And look at how it's working out. A lot of people want to point to the school bus that got turned over and the young 11-year-old kid died. He got thrown out of a window. Horrible, horrible, tragic accident. Is that happening every day? No. Did it happen because the guy couldn't drive? Yeah. So there's that. I mean, you bring in 15,000 people that don't know how to drive, or, large percentage of them don't know how to drive. You're going to have some issues. Media isn't going to be able to, ABC isn't going to be able to just smooth it out. That's been debunked. Can't tell you how many news stories I've looked at that. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You're debunking this, but there's some credible evidence in here. Ohio Attorney General knocks media over Springfield animal hunting claims. Let's see what that looks like. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost on yesterday accused the media of ignoring evidence surrounding claims Springfield, Ohio residents are having their pets abducted and eaten. Senator J.D. Vance, Republican from Ohio, two days ago, shared his office had received reports that household pets in Springfield were being abducted by Haitian migrants. He also said that that could have been just completely false. He tweeted that out. He said, yeah, not confirmed. And that was my concern That's my concern with Trump popping off with that information, is that there isn't enough credible verification of it to be saying that. You don't need to say that. You could say, hey, ducks and geese are being eaten, because we've got enough evidence of that. But the people's pets, at private residences, okay, we just don't have enough evidence, in my opinion. Maybe from what you've heard so far, you can make that leap to this is what's going on. But I haven't been able to do that. So do you know what's confirmed? He asked via X that a child was murdered by a Haitian migrant who had no right to be here. The local health services have been overwhelmed. That communicable diseases like tuberculosis and HIV have been on the rise. The local schools have struggled to keep up with newcomers and don't know English. That rents have risen so fast that many Springfield families can't afford to put a roof over their head. So those are the hardcore realities that I think, it's not even a question of asking, is that happening? But the fluffy being eaten is the kind of side product of all this. And because that instills in this fear of, is my cat going to get eaten? Are they going to eat my cat? A couple of nights ago, I spent we were up at the vet ER, drove about 5 miles from our houses, and my girlfriend's cat had a deal on her head that she'd been scratching, and it got infected and an abscess, and they had to slice it open and drain it and all that stuff. And so at 12:30 in the morning, I'm at a vet ER, hoping that Fluffy, cat's name is Kitty, is going to be okay. But you have these fears of, are they going to come eating Kitty? Are they going to eat Kitty? Don't really know. But I think the ducks and the geese, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. And there's enough there where, yeah, okay. We have national attention over alleged people eating cats. A resident identified as a council as Barron. I looked on the menu of 3 or 4 restaurants here today, man. I don't see roasted Fluffy nowhere on. It's nuts. Okay, so that is a local Haitian who is, again, you put a microphone or, hey, would you like to comment on this story? And if you're a Haitian, you're going to say, no, we're not eating the ducks. No, we're not eating the geese. I don't know anybody. Well, I mean, they probably, if there's a rumor out there, if they know some people, so you've eaten 50 ducks. So you've eaten 75 ducks. So you've eaten a dozen geese, something like that. And you got 15,000 Haitians. That means the vast majority of them are not eating your ducks, not eating your geese. But it also doesn't mean it's not happening, right? I mean, you gotta be brutally honest. New details uncovered about viral goose photo as Springfield's immigration surge makes national news. So the video of the dude, yeah, it's right here. This video goes on to basically state, yep, not Springfield, but it is Columbus. It's not that far away. So is this a stretch that this is going on? No, it's not a stretch. Easily. Migrants in Ohio's Springfield respond to pet eating accusations. So we've gone all the way from Tyler Durden. Who doesn't like Tyler Durden? Fight Club? I mean, first thing about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, right? We've gone from there to now we're at Newsweek. What do you think Newsweek is going to say? Here's migrant in Ohio's Springfield response to pet eating accusations. All right. Several Haitian migrants have responded to allegations about members of the community eating pets and park birds in Springfield, Ohio. What do you think they're going to say? They're dependent upon resources from a community they've just moved into. Oh, yeah, we're eating them up left, right, and center. Ducks are good. Yeah. No, that's just absurd. The article, here you go. The accusations debunked by city officials spread on social media over the weekend before they were repeated by Donald Trump during his presidential debate with Kamala Harris. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, he said the same thing. He also said it's possible, of course, that all of these rumors will turn out to be false. I don't think so. I think there's credibility there. But to what extent, to what level? Until I see a video of it happening that can be proven, hey, this happened now. This is Springfield. This is not 1984. So many of the videos you see out there on social media, like the one where the Hells Angels are going to be riding in to Aurora, Colorado to take care of Tren de Aragua. One of the major videos was people riding into Sturgis. Another video was, I can't remember where, but they were years ago. One was from 2012, and they just cut and paste those and say, hey, Hell's Angels are on their way. They're gonna take care of Tren de Aragua in Colorado because we need that to happen. So much of that is what you see. So Springfield City has issued a statement saying there have been no credible reports of pets being harmed by the Haitian community. There hasn't been any police reports. Nobody's called in and said, hey, they ate my cat. Okay, but that's also not a thing. It's one of those things where if your cat goes missing and you've got Haitians, living over there, does that mean they ate it? I mean, not necessarily, but if you see one strung up, I'd want to see a picture. You know what I mean? Just, we've got a post on Facebook or Twitter, I think it was, right? Got a post on Twitter that somebody made. All right. Okay, they're saying it's happening, but the Ohio Bureau of USA Today spoke to some Haitians living in Springfield who has seen its Haitian population grow by 15 to 20. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff that's not accurate, saying like all Haitians are cutting ducks' necks and eating them at the park and like they're running into trash cans and homes and stuff. I ain't never seen a Haitian do that before. I'm just keeping it real because I'm a Haitian myself. Well, that's one individual out of 15,000 or 20,000 that is stating that, but that also doesn't mean it's not happening. Simple as that, right? Simple as that. The 19-year-old who graduated from Springfield High School, so he's got a vested interest in protecting his community's reputation within Springfield. He's the next generation, right? He's graduated from high school. No, I haven't seen that. What are you talking about? Knowing full well, he heard from Uncle whatever that, they ate a duck. It's not a good look. Why'd you guys do that? Those conversations have been happening within the Haitian community. Hey, you got to keep a lid on eating the ducks out of Snyder Park. No, can do. That's ixnay on ducks out of Snyder Park. Can't do that. And he said he's been called a dirty Haitian and an illegal. All right. Okay. But that doesn't mean that the ducks aren't being eaten. It doesn't. It's just you're throwing out yet another deal. So, and they go on to show J.D. Vance, saying, of course, all of these rumors will turn out to be false. Well, I don't think they are. But I've done some pretty deep searches and I've looked at all this evidence. And I think what most people do is they quickly look in and they see a story and like Trump. I mean, he reads a lot of news and he cherry picks what he wants. If you're a huge Trump fan, I'm not intending to upset you. And if you're, a big Harris fan, you're probably not here. But what Trump does do is he cherry picks the headlines like we all do, but then he just regurgitates it as if it's truth. And sometimes that catches him. His handler has probably told him, hey, don't go there because we haven't verified that as a story. You don't need to go there. You can say all of these other things that we have been able to verify. You've got leadership spending millions of dollars to, provide some driving education to the Haitians. The numbers of the Haitians in the population of Springfield, those are a fact. You can say that. Hey, they don't drive. There's been multiple instances where they have not shown adequate driving skills and we need to catch them up. But the big deal is, why have you allowed, in Springfield, why have you allowed this to happen? That's what the local residents are asking. And I think that's what the rest of America is asking is like, what in the F is going on in Springfield? How did that happen? Because if a handful of geese get eaten and a handful of ducks get eaten and maybe a couple of cats have been eaten, I mean, that's not outside the realm of possibility. We don't have any definitive proof. Is that going to happen in my community? And, I'm going to say probably not. Come on. You know what I mean? But it could. And that is what stokes the fear within people to say, oh my gosh, is that going on? And then, but the bottom line is this is what happens when you don't vet folks and when you don't have a immigration policy that slowly integrates, millions of people into a country the way that it should. This whole story is that, which is, hey, you got an out of whack administration bringing in out of whack policy, and Springfield, Ohio is the direct, respondent. And they are the ones that are bearing the brunt of this massive immigration policy, specifically of Haitians, into their community. So after all that, what do you think? Is Fluffy being eaten? Yeah, I kind of think Fluffy is. There's some instances. In mass scale, no. I also heard one guy saying, yeah, he saw a van get pulled over and they had 100 cats in it. And I was like, okay, were they in cages? Because you ever seen a van pull up with 100 cats in it? And if they weren't in cages, that, stuff like that. Just rumor that, and they were going to be eaten. All right. Okay. Maybe. It just doesn't sound credible, right? It doesn't sound credible. But then again, you also can't say that it's, you have no proof that it's not happening either. Whatever you want to believe, I hope you got something out of today's live stream. This is kind of what we're doing. This is where things sit right now. And, most folks are going to debunk that and say, oh, that just didn't happen. Well, it is happening to some extent. What the extent is that you believe, that's your call. Thanks for tuning in to News for Reasonable live stream. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for being here. Bye for now.